All right, ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to be talking about Square Enix. Now, we've been covering Square Enix for a long time on this channel. And on this channel, we've spoken about a lot of the bad decisions that Square Enix has done from a business standpoint. You can talk about DEI, you can talk about wokeness all you want, and that is there to an extent, of course. However, Square Enix has made some terrible decisions. For example, Final Fantasy XIV, they ran that game into the ground. Final Fantasy XIV was their cash cow, their consistent money, the game that was keeping them afloat essentially while they fuck up everything else. But Final Fantasy XIV with Dawn Trail was ran into the ground where this is the least popular expansion ever for this video game. So their cash cow is suddenly not so much their cash cow anymore. On top of that, obviously everybody knows Forspoken was a massive flop. Not only that, Marvel's Avengers was a massive flop. Those two games alone put Square Enix into a terrible operating revenue profits. Like, it was bad. They went from 330 some odd operating revenue in terms of $330 million. They went from 330 million to about 90 million operating revenue just because of those two games alone. Right, not even including the other games that they messed up along the way. Now, obviously, they released some games that did okay, but the truth is that the Final Fantasy VII remakes have not been selling nowhere near as good as they have to. Right, the first one sold pretty decently because of the bait and switch, but then once people realized what was going on with the story, the second one only sold half of what the first one did. I don't even know what the third one's going to sell. It's probably going to sell the same as the second, but all the people that you bait and switch on the first one, you lost them. Right, so unfortunately, the business side of things has really taken a toll on Square Enix to the point where now we have this story. Square Enix is going to be firing over 100 people in mass layoffs for the company. Now, the first thing I want to reiterate with this is that one of the people that is being fired is none other than the lead translator or former lead translator over at Square Enix by the name of Kate. If you guys remember Kate, Kate was the one that was celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. Kate is the one that was basically going all over Blue Sky, being a good old activist. And once people found that out, well, they were calling for her firing. And she initially, I guess, thought she was immune. Well, apparently she's not. If you look at this post here from Twitter, it says, Rogue Maniac, Final Fantasy XIV has a new lead translator by the name of Paul Chandler. Thank you for your hard work for these past years, Kate. You didn't deserve the harassment that Lamatod and other idiots gave you. Can't wait to see what's coming up next. Imagine being a person who's like, yeah, I'm so sad that you got fired, but yeah, I'm excited for what's coming after your firing. That's so crazy. Anyway, so Kate ended up getting fired and getting replaced by a man. The irony is just amazing. So we have an update here that we're going to read after we read the initial article. So Square Enix is letting go of more than 100 employees in a mass layoff. First reported by IGN's Rebecca Valentine, Square Enix is letting go of up to 137 people in the United Kingdom, along with an unknown number of people in the United States. This is massive. This is way more than just 100. The layoffs were announced in a video call with the staff located outside of Japan. Just so you guys are aware, by firing all the UK or UK people and US people, they're targeting their Western side of their companies. They're not targeting the Japanese side. They're targeting the Western side. This kind of goes hand in hand and shows exactly where they think the problem lies with the company. Just keep that in mind as we're talking about this. The layoffs were announced in a video call with staff located outside of Japan. These cuts will impact those working in marketing, publishing, business planning, QA, IT, and more. Staff being let go will start being notified on Thursday. Full details on what Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu called a fundamental restructuring of the overseas publishing organization will be given in the future. Bro, they're purging these people. That's it. It's over. They're done. Welcome home. Like, that's basically it. In the current fiscal year, a fundamental restructuring of the overseas publishing organization is being implemented with the aim of further strengthening global publishing capabilities and improving operational efficiency. A presentation shown first to staff before made public. Now, what I want you guys to understand about this is that it's not just about firing the activists. It's about firing the people that don't provide anything to this company. It's about firing the people that have brought no benefit to keeping these people on payroll. Why do I think that? Well, there was a recent article and a recent statement also made by Square Enix about all this stuff related to AI, right? Square Enix apparently aims to have AI doing 70% of its QA work by the end of 2027. Think about that. They want 70% of its Q&A work to be done by AI by the end of 2027. Now you start to realize all these layoffs make sense because they realize they no longer need these people. Whether they're an activist or not, unfortunately, their jobs are able to be replaced by AI because they're either not that great at it or it's just not necessary anymore. This is the purge, ladies and gentlemen. This is the purge. And when it comes to publishing, localization, all this stuff, AI is getting so good that we don't need localizers as much as they think that we do, because they think they do some sort of, like, I don't know, holy grail of work. The truth is that the 30% that are being left over that are going to cover for the 70% AI, the 30% is going to be trying to ensure that the 70% of AI work is actually good work. That's basically it. The 70% is free. Like, there's no payroll with that. So this is an amazing thing to see, because we are literally seeing the crash of the gaming industry play out in full force, and almost all of it's being replaced by AI. It's also been reported that those not let go from the company will be required to work more often in the office. Bro, they are rating these people in, plain and simple. They are done playing nice with the people who want to, whatever, work from home. They don't want to go to the office. They got used to it from COVID, whatever it may be. They are completely reining these people in. They're firing the people they can't feel like they can do anything with, and they're reining in the last few people that they feel like they can do something with. They also come the same day the company said it wants to have 70% of its QA and debugging handled by AI by the end of 2027. It's unclear, however, if this plan attributed to the current round of job cuts. It absolutely did. Of course it did. You got to be insane if you don't realize that AI is a guiding factor in how many of these people got fired. Insider Gaming reached out to Square Enix for comment, and that's where we go up to the update. So we have an update on this article. It says Square Enix has released a statement to the media regarding the layoffs. However, they didn't clarify the number of people being let go. Insider Gaming has asked for more clarification. Here is the full statement. It says the following: we are reorganizing our operations in North America and Europe to strengthen our development structure and to drive a globally integrated marketing strategy. This was an extremely difficult decision made following careful consideration and analysis by our leadership in order to best position the group's long-term growth. One of the biggest problems with Square Enix, in my opinion, is that they listen to the wrong people. And I think that Japanese companies in general are all guilty of doing this. When they have Westerners either living in Japan working for them or living outside of Japan working for them, they're giving them information of what they think the Westerners want. And Japan is taking this information at face value. This is why you end up with Japanese games that have minimal wokeness, but they have body type A and B, right? Because you have people literally telling them that it is mandated for them to do body type A and B, otherwise they can't release the game in the West. This has been proven when the whole situation happened with, I forgot what game it was, but there was developers, they got caught on video talking about how they were forced into utilizing body type A and B, and they think it's stupid, but they felt like they had to do it anyway in order to release the game in the West. I forgot which game it was. I apologize, but I'm sure you guys can look it up. The video went so viral that they had to take it down. I think it was Dragon Quest, but I could be wrong on that, so forgive me on that. But I think it was Dragon Quest. They ended up doing that. That video went viral, and because of that, they took the video down, right? So when they said that, it brought to light the entire mindset of the Japanese developers and how they're being fed this information. And again, I don't want to take away blame from them necessarily, but they're literally being fed this information about what is viable and what's not viable in the West. They're being fed this info. And so when they take this info, they're like, okay, if for me to release this game, I have to make it body type A and B, that's what I'll do. It's mandated. They literally think it's mandated when it's not mandated. Anyway, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to the talented team members who will be departing the company for their significant contributions to Square Enix. During this period of transition, we remain committed to treating each individual with the utmost respect and providing extensive support throughout the process. Yeah, I think at this point, guys, they are completely and utterly cooked. And I hope, I really do hope that this is a turnover for Square Enix. I hope that this is a moment where we go back to the basics. I hope that this is a moment, a return to form. I hate saying that because the journalists love using that, but I really do hope that this is a return to form. I really do. I hope that this is the start of let's go back to the basics of what made Square Enix amazing. Let's go back to what made these RPGs amazing. these whatever. Like, we need to go back to this. And if that means that, basically restructuring the entire Western sector, it seems, of your company, I'm for that. I'm for that. Hopefully, this means that Final Fantasy 14 becomes good again. I don't know, right? But I just hope that this is a good sign. Otherwise, if you're firing these people and you're going to utilize AI just to do the same bullshit you were doing with the people you fired, you might as well pack your bags up and go. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about all this nonsense with Square Enix. Obviously, we all saw this coming. Did you think it was going to be more people? Did you think it was going to be less? Do you want to see more? Do you want to see less? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you enjoyed this video, consider hitting that like and subscribe. And I will see you guys on the next one.